What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. To be fair, you have to have a 200 IQ to appreciate and understand the Windwitch Blast Spell Buyout and the depths of reasoning that it took to get here. To be fair, Blast Spell is now the hardest to get piece of the Windwitch engine. Does that make it meta viable? Not at all. It's not appearing in Top Cut. It's not hyped from anything coming from the OCG currently, and it's pretty much apparent that people just went after this because it's harder to get. But with OTS Pack 8 currently in circulation, the quantities of this will continue to come out on market. You're going to see people list lower and lower to create actual sales versus these people trying to hold the line all the way up. And I think that this won't last long. If you went for the Ultras, of course you got a little bit better value, but Ice Spell's the starter. And well, Ice Spell's available in Shadows and Valhalla, making it easier to get. It's just interesting to see people go after this all of a sudden. Now, we do also see on eBay low quantities. The lowest seller has multiple copies here at the $8 mark and only 13 results on all of eBay. eBay recovers a little slower from buyouts. My thoughts here is you should have waited for this buyout if you were going to do it when something in the OCG hyped a wind archetype that seemed relatively good that might be meta impacting and people would actually talk about this engine alongside it. Right now there's no hype, the wind's not rising, so to speak, behind this archetype or engine, and I personally just don't see it doing much. That Crystal Wing, yeah, it's powerful. It's really cool to see it undestructible, but there's just so many ways to take care of it these days that I'm not buying into it, and I just don't think it'll have an impact currently. Barely even on the regional level, if even. Now, we do head into a card that has had a huge impact, and every single version of it has stayed at insane heights, in my opinion. Rescue Cat, this is a card that's proven itself in the past. It had its breakout moment at the UK Nationals, really showing up in BA, and now Crusadia is a deck that can consider playing this among other things. We're just seeing it in more and more kind of rogue decks, and it's bubbling into regional tops, that kind of thing. My opinion, though, is it's still a little bit inflated. I think people really love the rescue monsters and a chance to play them, and there's a little bit of nostalgia behind it. We do see the Duelist Saga Ultra Rare here at around $10, but on eBay it's already cooled off to the $9 mark for a couple sellers before it's 10 and then meets at 11. So it does quickly go back to there if people were interested in like going for specifically Duelist Saga. But even the commons, like I believe this is still around the $6 mark if you're looking into that. The rares are a bit from Turbo Pack. We go in and I think they're near $10 for the Turbo Pack rare. Yep, and that's a higher rarity. I guess some people like that aesthetic, but the DR3 common, they're just harder to find. They're not going to go down quickly. There's so few of them. So many versions of Rescue Cat, but they're all so old besides the holo foil from Duel Saga. My opinion is, amazing card. I enjoy playing it for fun, and in Crusadia, I like making Naturia Beast. Naturia Beast still does shut down entire games, especially when you get it out against the Sky Striker engine. But I just don't know that it's specifically worth this much money for, say, the Ultra from Duel Saga for the commons. I would expect this to have already cooled off a little more, and it's not. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think that there is proof in the pudding, so to speak? It's proved itself in metas past. It has potential in current rogue tier decks that can top regionals. What do you guys think of Rescue Cat, and do you think it's just for Naturia Beast, or maybe Link plays and being able to really get out there? Fiendish Rhino Warrior, speaking of BA, bringing that back. This is something I meant to cover for a while, but do realize there's completely budget versions before we talk about the super rare. 20 cents. You can go out and get yourself Fiendish Rhino Warriors, so don't worry about that one. Looking at the OTS Pack 2 variant, it's around $8, which is insane. And on eBay, only 10 results starting near $9. In my opinion, I would sell these. But I do get wanting to fully hollow out your deck, especially for BA players. It's kind of similar to Mermail at this point, where people who have had them are going to keep them for a long time, and they're going to fully hollow out their deck. In my opinion, I'm selling these if they're in my trade binder. I would have been told, if somebody offered me 5, I would have thought I was getting the deal there. And so, personally, that's what I would do, but I can't tell you what to do with your cards. If you enjoy it for what it is, keep it in your hollowed out BA deck. Don't worry about it, just like the Mermail players. But if you have these in your trade binder, here's something maybe you didn't know what it was worth, and maybe something you can make a little bit of money off of. Big oof. Big oof. Infinite Impermanence is still above $80 at the $82 mark, and we see it over here on eBay just a little cheaper, 73 unlimited. We see a first ed 79, and it quickly does meet at 80 after just 2 copies. eBay's seeming a little cheaper here and there today. What's up with FLOD? It's just holding its ground, staying in place, and people are somehow surprised about this unicorn staying up even after it's risen. Well, there's only the special editions, which give you unlimiteds, and those are kind of going away fast. You see, even the sealed product is above the market price for the, oh, that's the booster, my bad. This is actually under by $1 or $2, but both of these, they're relatively expensive for what they are. You see Shadows in Valhalla, like we covered the other day, $55 for its sealed booster box versus $72 on FLOD. Point being is, this sealed product's doing well. It's been out for a while, and it did not flop. So we're looking at proven in meta cards as we head towards the 200th. And I did predict it would stay stable until then, unless a ban list really just shot things all to some level playing ground. And I don't think they're going to do that with FLOD. They still got to sell next year's Megaton somehow, don't they? So my opinion on this, the price is partly due to the shorter printing of Ghost Bell and Impermanence there. Unicorn deserved it for a long time. We see Ibly fall because it's not being used as much. But FLOD, really solid set, and we saw this coming for a long time. Going into OTS Pack 8 and just how it's kind of fallen, it's still really impressive that all 3 cards stay around the $50 price or more, in my opinion, which is where we kind of saw things maybe falling to eventually. There's a couple cheap sellers before it goes back to 72. These prices are really high, though. I think Droll is near Ghost Ogre's price, though, is what surprises me. Like, I would have expected this, you know, to float up higher for a long time. But again, the ban list is looming, and people are scared. This is one of the cards that could eventually get hit, similar to the check and balance that was Maxx C in the game. Speaking of Maxx C, $120 for these. People are really banking on the ban list here, but we do go to eBay and we see near mint copies are relatively cheaper here and there. A lot of foreign ones trying to be sold. Actually, is this the only copy that's just there cheaper? Wow, I didn't see that one coming. I did not notice that all of these were foreign. That's pretty crazy. So a lot of people are banking on this with the ban list. We see it at 3 in the OCG. People are thinking it's going to tear off our list and really shake up the 200th YCS. I could only hope that it's either at 0 or at 3 personally. And when you're talking ban list, you are in full speculation mode. Similarly to speculation, this tore off a ban list, you might remember. $200 for Dragoons, everything's going crazy. And, you know, we cycle a couple months later. Completely calm waters. Yeah, we got puns for days. Completely calm and almost under what it was. Just more of these are in circulation because people went ham, and now you see 21 listed. When's the last time we saw a number above 10 or 12 of these listed on the market? It's been so long, and they've just been able to flood the market over here. And we look on eBay, 20 results on eBay. It goes up a little quicker over here, but there's just so many of these now. It's pretty crazy, in my opinion, to see it calm down that much after being so hyped for coming back to 3. Utopia the Lightning is just a suggestion here. It's at one of its lowest points ever for its ultimate rare after we finally got other variants to play with. I know that not everybody likes how this ultimate looks, but I think it's a really good thing to have, and I think the Utopia package comes into play here or there depending on the format and the deck, so it's just something I personally would go ahead and kind of go for right now and pick up while people aren't looking at it. Similar We saw the OCG list, Speedroid Terratop. Could we see the change here? There's no telling. Again, ban list or speculation, but it's nice to see it calm back down. I think it was at 12 before it spiked, and we see so many listed at 15 now. Just a little baby bump compared to where it was. I don't know if this last tab is anything. Oh yeah, Quickdraw. We talked about this on stream. Somebody asked if they thought it was worth it to get supers. Like, should I spend my money on the supers? I feel like these were 12 forever. There's so few quantity, and with the USA 10 out, people might eventually be looking over here, but you have a ton of amazing versions with this, not just the ultra rare. Look at how cheap these Duelist League rares are for some really nice colors. So in my opinion, I'm a huge fan of Duelist League rares. When I play, I would probably go for the Duelist League rares or the DT. The DT I think is relatively affordable and cheap. I think it's that Shatterfoil. Yeah, here we are at $1.24. So yeah, Quickdraw Synchron, while you could see a little hype somewhere from the USA 10, a lot of people just aren't feeling it. They're not enjoying it. But if you were to go for something like this, I'd go for it around now rather than later. I think, you know, with low quantities on market, you should be going ahead. Yes, we have sellers with a couple, but don't hold off if you've been holding the button for a while. People will kind of connect dots as we come full circle in this market watch and buy things that aren't even hyped or doing anything. So just the USA 10 alone could cause something like that to go poof if you've been waiting. So thanks for watching today's Market Watch. What did you guys think of some of the things going on? And give a thumbs up to this video if you enjoyed the discussion. Subscribe if you haven't already. I just think people's reasonings for buyouts like this go around to the point of, hey, this is harder to get, let's get it. And they don't really think too hard about the long-term potential of this buyout or where they could have placed it. So while I'm not supporting buyout culture in a sense, when you do a buyout, when you do the buyout, kind of look for something else before doing it, like something from the OCG, so there's actual wind in the sails of where your money's going.